The night was heavy with silence, broken only by the faint sound of footsteps echoing in a dark alley where most people avoided going after sundown. But inside a small, broken apartment tucked at the end of that alley, a sound pierced the air that no one could ignore. A child's sobbing voice, trembling, fragile, begging with all the fear her tiny heart could carry. "Please don't hurt my mom, a broken bar please." She didn't do anything, a broken bar. The words, so desperate, so raw, carried beyond the cracked walls of that apartment and landed upon the ears of a man who had stopped his luxury car just a few feet away. He wasn't supposed to be there. In fact, his route was usually different, but that evening something had drawn him down this forgotten road. His name was Daniel Cartera, a man the world knew as a cold, unshakable millionaire whose empire stretched across industries. People called him ruthless, a man who made decisions with his mind, not his heart. But the sound of that little girl's sobbing hit him like a blade to the chest. He froze, his hand still on the car door, his heartbeat quickening in a way he hadn't felt in years. Daniel had lost something long ago, something called empathy, or so he thought. His childhood had been filled with battles of his own, with an alcoholic father and a mother who cried herself to sleep every night. He had buried those memories under layers of steel as he built his empire. Yet now, in the trembling voice of this child, those memories clawed their way back, tearing through the armor he had so carefully built. He pushed the door open and stepped into the dimly lit alley, his polished shoes splashing through puddles left from the rain earlier. The closer he got, the louder the voices became, of the girl's pleas, the rough voice of a man barking threats, and the muffled cries of a woman trying to protect her child. Daniel clenched his fists. Something inside him snapped. Without thinking, he marched up the rusted stairway that led to the small apartment door, the wooden planks creaking under his weight. Inside, chaos reigned. A man with a cruel sneer held the little girl's mother by the wrist, his other hand raised to strike. The girl, no older than 7, clung to her mother's legs, tears streaming down her dirt-stained cheeks as she sobbed. "Please don't hurt my mom, a broken bar," the man snarled. "She owes me money. If she doesn't pay tonight, she'll pay with pain." He yanked the woman's arm again, making her cry out in agony. Daniel's presence filled the doorway before anyone even noticed. His tall frame, sharp suit, and cold eyes made him look like someone who didn't belong in this ruined place. "Let her go," Daniel's voice thundered, steady and commanding. The abusive man turned, startled, then scoffed when he saw Daniel. "Who are you?" "This is none of your business." Daniel stepped forward, his expression unreadable, but his voice carried a force that made even the cruel man falter. "It became my business the moment she cried out for mercy. You have two choices: walk away right now, or I will make sure you never lay a hand on anyone again." For a moment, silence hung in the room. The abuser laughed bitterly, thinking Daniel was just some rich man playing hero. But then he looked into Daniel's eyes, those icy, unwavering eyes, and something in them made him shiver. He let go of the woman, muttering curses under his breath as he backed away. "Fine, but this isn't over," he spat before storming out. The little girl rushed to her mother, wrapping her small arms around her waist. The mother, trembling and shaken, whispered her thanks through tears. Daniel stood still, staring at them, not knowing why his heart felt like it was being squeezed. He had never planned to interfere, but something in this moment had shifted inside him. The little girl turned her big, tearful eyes toward him and whispered softly, "Thank you, a broken bar, you saved my mom." And in that instant, Daniel Cartera, the man who had always believed money was power, that emotions were weakness, felt something he hadn't in years: humanity. He didn't know it yet, but this was the beginning of a journey that would change everything he thought he knew about life, love, and the meaning of wealth. And viewers, as you listen to this story, imagine what you would have done if you heard that little girl's cry in the night. Would you have walked away your broken bar or stepped forward? Stay with me until the end, because what happens next will shatter your heart and restore your faith in unexpected ways. And if you believe that kindness still has the power to change lives, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because the second chapter of this story will show you just how one act of courage can transform not just one family's life, but the heart of a man who thought he was beyond saving.